Americans for Fair Taxation presents the weekly Chairman's Report, written by Steve Hayes, president of Americans for Fair Taxation, and recorded by Bob Paxton, a volunteer with the Florida FAIRtax Educational Association. And now, this week's Chairman's Report.
Hello, I'm Bob Paxton with the AFFT Chairman's Report for Friday, August 14th, 2020. Yet another unnecessary solution. Now, one of the areas of the economy that's been severely affected by COVID-19 is commercial real estate, particularly office buildings. Because many office buildings were forced to close during the pandemic, their tenants were forced to have their people work from home. Now, many of these companies discovered that arrangement worked quite well and are now thinking that the old model of having everyone come to an office might not be the best way to go. Consequently, they are rethinking their future office needs, and many have decided they will not be needing as much office space as before. In addition, a large number of companies that were leasing office space were financially crippled by the shutdown and will likely either go out of business or have to greatly reduce the size of their operations. Either way, building owners are looking at a substantial decrease in their revenue. Now, these economic realities are leaving increasing amounts of office space vacant. That's putting many building owners at risk of defaulting on the loans they took out to purchase or construct their buildings, and that means that lenders may be foreclosing on a large number of these buildings. Bottom line, expect the value of these office buildings to decline sharply. On the upside, though, many of these buildings are in good locations with adequate parking. As a result, there are some groups looking to acquire these buildings and convert them to hotels and/or condominiums. Now, rather than letting the free market economy adjust to the new real estate reality, Congressman Kevin Brady, formerly the chairman of the House Ways and Means Committee and now the ranking Republican on that committee, has suggested that the Internal Revenue Code be changed to allow investors in real estate to expense their investments in the year that they purchase the real estate, not over 27.5 to 39 years as is now the case. Now, Congressman Brady is correct about one thing. His proposal will stimulate commercial real estate investment. Now, since most commercial real estate is purchased with 10 to 30% down with the balance paid off over 15 to 30 years, Congressman Brady's proposal will allow an investor to purchase a $10 million real estate project in 2021, make a down payment of $2 million, and finance $8 million over 20 years. Receive a tax deduction for the full $10 million for the 2021 tax year. Now, if you're in the 35% federal income tax bracket, that would save $3.5 million in federal income taxes. Not a bad guaranteed return in 1 year. But there are some problems with this proposal. As will be discussed below, if we eliminated the federal income payroll tax system and adopted the FAIRtax, this solution would not be needed. However, there are a number of things wrong with Congressman Brady's proposal. First, you'll have a large number of people who will put partnerships together. Now, these partnerships will purchase real estate not because they believe it's a good investment, but because they can get immediate tax savings. An investment of $500,000 into the $10 million real estate project described above would result in federal income tax savings of between $750,000 and $1 million, depending on their state and federal tax bracket. Second, prices for commercial real estate will increase, but not because of economics, but because of the tax benefits. When most of the properties don't generate sufficient revenue to pay the operating expenses in the mortgage, there will be more foreclosures and more problems for the real estate market. Third, this solution is like treating a severe toothache with a shot of Novocaine. It relieves the pain for a while, but it doesn't fix the problem. As the Novocaine wears off, the pain returns, often worse than before. Now let's look at the FAIRtax, the permanent solution. Now, Congress is constantly proposing fixes for the income payroll tax system, and they are all doomed to fail. It's like punching a balloon. It will always bulge out somewhere else. While expensing commercial real estate will temporarily boost the market, it's not solving the problem. However, eliminating the income payroll tax system makes several things happen. Investors will have no income tax to pay. This means they will have a full 100 cents of every dollar they earn with which to make their investments. Consequently, They will have as much as 40% more dollars in their accounts to use for their investment purchases. Now, investments are not subject to the fair tax, and the proceeds from the sale of investments in real estate are also not subject to the fair tax. Investors will again be looking for good investments and will no longer be lured into making bad ones by the promise of quick tax savings. When sellers of real estate receive the proceeds of their sales and then use that money to purchase new retail goods and services, they'll pay the fair tax like everyone else. In conclusion, if the income payroll tax system were not so devastating to our economy and our citizens, we could have a good laugh watching Congress try to fix it. It would be like watching someone trying to drain the Mississippi River with a teaspoon. Now, we all know the system is broken and corrupt, but still, the people we elect to look out for our best interest keep insisting that they can make it work. Of course, the dirty little secret they don't want us to know is that they're actually working for the lobbyists, the ruling class, and the special interests. And the sad truth is when they win, we the people lose. Before he became chairman of the Ways and Means Committee, Kevin Brady was a longtime co-sponsor of the FAIRtax. He knows that the fair tax would eliminate the need for all these fixes being proposed to the unfixable income payroll tax system. The fair tax benefits the economy and the American people, and the choice is simple. Do you want to benefit the American people or the ruling class and their minions in D.C.? We've tried everything else. Now we need to do the right thing. Pass the fair tax. So if you're ready to take a very significant step towards taking control of your government back from a small group of corrupt people and making it possible for all to prosper, go to FAIRtax.org. Watch the whiteboards under how it works, and if you agree, please join us. Then, contact your member of Congress and the President and demand that Congress pass the fair tax, the only truly fair tax.
This has been the Weekly Chairman's Report, written by Steve Hayes, President of Americans for Fair Taxation. Check back every week for news and information about the fair tax, and learn why the fair tax should replace our antiquated federal income tax system. If you'd like to receive a copy of the Chairman's Report in your inbox every week, sign up at FAIRtax.org.